Coping on the Course is brought to you by Lee's famous chicken recipe. A taste you'll crave after every round.
There it is. I love that. Oh, I love that. That's better.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I should put my clubs away.
No.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Look at that flag. That's 4 of me. That's like 4. Oh, Cope, you.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the second episode of Coping on the Course. I'm here with my main guy, PV, Paul Vecchio, AD at Hartwick College in Oneonta, New York. So we're all the way out here. You know the drill, two-person scramble. We're going to go out, talk some mental health, and I'm excited to be out here. We're at Oneonta Country Club. Yeah. So, PV, thanks for coming out, man.
Absolutely. We're going to enjoy this. This is going to be, we got a great day for it.
Yes. Late
autumn in upstate New York. The trees look fantastic.
But no, we're going to have a lot of fun. So I'm excited to get it. So y'all tune in, have fun, and let's get after it.
Let's do it.
All right.
I just wasted them probably over there.
No, you're good. Oh, yeah, that's money. That's money, PV.
Well, that's straight anyway. It's not very far. Yeah, Cope. I can't afford to lose that kind of yardage.
You're good.
Yeah. That's better. Man, that.
All right.
Yeah, I saw it drop down.
All right, we are here with PV, man. Paul Vecchio, AD at Hartwick College, great guy. And we're excited to get in this conversation. And Paul, thanks for joining, man. Coping on the Course.
Happy to. Love this. Love this day with you, Cope.
Yes. No, Paul was assistant athletic director right at Buffalo when I was there.
Yeah.
Really great guy. And we just talked a little bit about people care about athletes, right? And when I was at Buffalo, you all really cared about us as more than just athletes. And that was something that's truly special. So I'm glad, he brought me out to speak to his athletes at Hartwick. Yeah. So I'm excited for some conversations going, and we're going to have a good time.
It feels like some good wind in us, though.
Yeah.
Are you feeling that?
I am.
I feel like, so I'm gonna take one club more. Like I'm usually 8-iron 150 guy.
Okay.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, that looks good. Oh, and kick. Oh, yeah. That's a good ball. I like it. Okay, yeah, I might do that too. I'm gonna hit a punch 9.
Got a little fade. You work a little fade here.
I do. I kind of faded, but with the little half shots, I don't know. It's one of those. We'll see.
Oh, I like it. I like it. Get right on it. Oh, brother.
I think we might be all right.
Yeah.
Ball, yeah, you right there. Oh, yeah. Good ball, man.
Might be the biggest flag I've ever seen in my life.
That flag that's like 10 feet tall. That's 12.
I think we'll see it okay, right? You like it out?
Yeah, look at that flag.
You like it out? Look at that flag. That's 4 of me. It's like 4 of me tall.
Flag is ridiculous.
Yeah, it must be something like if you're back too far, you might not be able to see it.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's got to be what, left to right?
Yeah, left to right.
Quick. I'm having a hard time seeing a hole.
I know, right? And that's probably why they put that big flag. Like here it is. I like that a lot.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I'm seeing like 3 balls.
Yeah, okay.
On the left.
But I'll try to give you a good read. It should be downhill, it looks like.
You will.
So.
Now come around.
Come on.
Oh, that's a great run.
Oh, thank you.
That's a no pressure. I got no pressure on me now.
No pressure at all, man.
I love a partner that puts no pressure on me.
We're in for a good par.
We like no pressure scrambles.
Oh, it's the best thing. Oh, come on.
Oh, I didn't hit it.
Oh, it was right in there. It was right in there.
Son of a gun.
How
do you do that when we're already in for par? I just got a little scared.
It did, and
that flag is crazy.
That doesn't make sense.
I've never seen one.
Buffalo for 17 years as assistant athletic director.
Yeah.
Because obviously that's where I met you, and you were part of that big transition from going to Division 2 into Division 1.
From D3 to D2 to D1.
So you were.
But I got there after we'd already jumped to D1.
Okay, so what was that transition like with the resources and everything? What was that kind of like?
Yeah, there were a lot of people there right before I got there that really set the foundation in place. Guys like Nelson Townsend was the AD when they jumped to Division 1. Bill Breen, guy named Tom Kohler who hired me at UB, so I'm forever indebted to to Tom, and he was doing all the marketing and promotions at that time. Bill Breen was sort of like the associate AD. Came in as the director of sports information. That was my gig. So I interviewed in like early June.
Okay.
And then it took a little while. By the time they actually offered me the job, they announced that they were joining the Mid-American Conference and going to Division 1A. Like it got real.
Yeah, real
like right
fast.
then, because I was like, I mean, I was excited because at that point I had 3 years of being a sports information director at Alfred University, which I would go back to and be the athletic director later in my career. But like to me, it was exciting. I was moving to the city, moving to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Going to be Division 1. None of us, I think, knew what we were getting into.
Yeah.
When I first got to Buffalo, we were in this conference, this long defunct called the Mid-Continent Conference. It was a bunch of schools transitioned to D1 or were sort of like couldn't find a place. And so we did pretty well in that conference. We were independent in football, but we did okay in that conference because I feel like resource-wise, we were probably pretty equal with a lot of the other programs. But when we jumped up to the Mid-American, we were in for a rude awakening. It was rough. It was rough.
And I think people don't understand the difference in the type of athletes you can recruit, but also the resources that's available for the athletes that help them when they're there. And I think that a lot of schools forget about the development of the athlete when they're actually on campus.
Absolutely.
And I just remember first kind of going to Buffalo, and obviously I'm coming from high school, so whatever facilities we have, I'm like, oh, this is great. But now to go back and see everything that they've done, it's phenomenal. I'm a little bit jealous.
Yep.
A little bit jealous.
Every graduate is when they go back and they see like, wait, none of this stuff was here when I was here.
Yeah, the indoor, you got 18 different jerseys, like but it's great to see the growth in that, and I'm glad that you were kind of part of that, getting the transition going.
I got protection behind me.
I don't know about that.
I got protection behind me. No.
Oh, that looks good, Paul.
Pushed it.
But it's all right. Not
Bad
bad.
bounce.
Yeah, it's not bad. All right, 175.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna hit a little choke down 7-iron. Just try to get something out there. Oh.
Hang on, Lil.
I quit on it. All right, I was scared of that. When we was filming with Marissa, she was just so good at par threes. It's almost scary.
That's
because
the thing about pros, man.
And it's the expectation too. She was just like, I just want to get on the green.
Yeah.
And two putt. And then I'm trying to hit it to 5 feet every time.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, just get on the green.
Yeah, that's
and two putt.
That's a difference. I mean, the difference between, a pro and even a low amateur is inside 100 yards like that.
Yeah, she was throwing darts and stuff. Oh, that looks good.
That's got to go.
Oh, okay, kicked. Stay up.
You see how hard that?
Yeah.
Oh, stop.
Oh, no,
Look at that.
No.
That was like 2 feet from being pretty good, Cope.
It really was.
Anything left is better than right.
Yeah. I'm going to try to play it into the fringe up here and just hopefully kill it down in there. Oh, kicked it too hard. Just stay up there, though. I missed it. Ooh, we got some work to do. Yeah, if you miss this one,
you
then
end up in the same spot.
Yeah, I might leave the flag in for that. All right, I'm thinking it's going that way.
It's got to go that way. I
So-
mean, you just look at all the...
Yeah.
It's almost a line I was thinking.
I had it like on the inside leg of this tripod right here.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
Okay.
When you look at it from back here, it just looks downhill.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't look like there's much there.
Okay. I'll split it.
Strength-wise, maybe like 2/3 of the way, it'll trickle.
Okay.
Oh, now. Good roll.
Okay. I think you're like right here. If anything,
Yeah.
I think it's like right there. Oh, come on.
Oh, I just can't get it there.
All right. All right. I'm just going to kind
There's
of,
nothing there.
Yeah.
Just straight in.
I'm going to try to take the break out of it.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Straight in. Good
Yep.
putt.
All right. We got a bogey.
Good
It's
putt.
all right. You're the athletic director at Hartwick, and you've been in athletics for 30 years?
32 years.
32 years?
Yeah.
What's a hard part about working with athletes and young adults and like developing them into, because college is a big transition period.
Yeah. I think the hardest thing, Cope, and I think the older you get, the challenge becomes you're so much wiser as you get older, right? You've experienced so many different things. You've experienced loss. You've experienced sudden change in your life or in, you know, the things that are around you. You've smartened up a lot. The mistakes you made when you were in college, you know, hopefully you learn from. And the hardest thing that I find is just, you know, I have so much wisdom that I can share, but I remember being 18 to 22 and I knew it all already.
Right, yeah.
I mean, come on, old man, what are you going to tell me that I don't know?
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? So I
yeah.
think sometimes the biggest challenge is just trying to forge a relationship strong enough with the student athletes to where they'll really listen to the wisdom that you can provide to them. And I get it 100%, because when I was that age, again, I thought I knew it all, and experience is the greatest teacher. Like, I don't think student athletes have changed a whole lot in 32 years. I think society's changed, you know, the parental piece has changed a little bit, a lot more involved. But like, I still think kids come with a lot of the same characteristics of wanting to use college as this incredible experience maker, you know, development tool, which is what I love and why, you know, it sustained me and why I'm still doing it after this long.
Because I just remember my experience at Buffalo, and you all had a great support staff for the AD, and everybody in the alumni arena was so amazing and opening arms. And I think that's special because, especially on a Division I level, you're getting guys and ladies that's coming from all over the country.
Yeah.
So the colleges, they're literally home for the next 5 years.
Yep.
And I wanted to thank you because you all did a great job of making it feel like a home away from home.
Yeah, that means a lot. So much of it. I mean, we've talked a lot about Ward Manuel, our athletic director at that time, and just the way he uplifted people, such passion to the work every day. You know, over 17 years at UB, I have friends that live in Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia, Belarus, not to mention California, Texas, Colorado, every state basically in the union. And as a young administrator growing up, like, I remember having a couple moments. We had a bunch of Russian guys at one point in the men's basketball program.
Okay.
St. Petersburg, Russia. Like, the one dude was in the Russian army. And I remember being on bus trips, like, we were driving home from central Michigan, you know, 6 hours in a bus. And it dawned on me more than once, Cope, like, I grew up in the Cold War era. And to think that when I was going to be in my, like, mid-30s, and I'm going to be sitting there having a conversation with two dudes from Russia about, like, life and politics, and, like, I mean, I would have never guessed it. And how enriching, like, that was in so many ways. And those people brought their worlds to us.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And so, like, if you were just open to learning and just finding out more about how people tick from their upbringing, right, and where they were raised and their circumstances, which are all going to be different than what mine are, you can just grow and learn so much through that.
Yeah, and I think that's different as coming from you all at the administrative, let's say, level and the support staff level, because you're getting people from other countries. You're getting people international. So now there might be a language barrier. There's definitely a culture barrier.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking, I was 6 hours away from home and I felt like it was a world away. I couldn't imagine literally being a world away. And having all that. So sometimes college athletic programs, they don't know how much of a difference that makes. There it is. I love that.
Oh,
I love that.
That's better.
That's down there. That's gonna roll.
Okay.
Ooh, look at that.
All right.
Good ball, Paul.
Thank you. That's the only, I got to keep it low, man. That's the only way I can move it out there at all. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, my. That is smashed.
All right, we got a good one.
Right
no,
down
you're
the
right here. Yeah, I'm gonna say you're good.
Now, where are you at?
I'm up
You
there.
gotta be.
I'm up there by
You
the-
in the trap.
I might be right beside it.
We're taking that. I feel good about this one, though.
Yeah, no,
That's all I got. That's all I got, Colt. That's everything I got.
That was strike.
And then, you know what? We'd have been on a downhill lie there. So
those lies
even on my best shot, I would not have had a pretty lie there.
No, those
That one felt a little better.
Yeah, no, they're good.
We have to atone for our wedge play.
Yeah.
Head first, because,
All right.
I mean, when you chip this in, I want you to have a natural legal. Yeah. Look at this drive. This guy just
Hey, listen, man.
hammered this
Oh man, we're all right.
into the wind.
Try to keep it close. That's the goal.
Oh, I like it.
Oh,
I
come
like
on,
it.
sit.
Go
Sit,
in.
Sit. Oh, it just ran out a little too much.
That's good
Okay.
run, though. That's a really good run at it.
Yeah.
I like it
different one.
because you hit it like you were trying to make it.
I was trying to. We're in a scramble, man.
There was,
I was
there was
trying to.
no, you were not shy.
No, I was trying to. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Release.
Come on.
Keep going.
Come on. Oh, it died.
Both sides of it, Cope.
Yeah, we got it
sides of it.
surrounded.
Yeah, we're gonna make this one.
Yeah.
We're gonna make this
All
one.
right, we got a flag out.
I think this is just right edge, Cope.
You want to switch up the order? You want me to go?
Let's switch it up.
Okay,
because
yeah, you go ahead.
we haven't made one yet.
I know. Let's figure out something.
Oh,
Oh, that breaks. Oh, I didn't see that.
that turned harder than I thought.
100%.
But at least I think you got a good read on it.
I did. I'm gonna go like maybe out here and do with pace because it snapped like
It did.
like here.
It way
Yeah.
gonna hit it pace wise.
I'm gonna try to die it in.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to actually hit like that's the hole, if
Yeah.
that makes sense, and just let it. And if it if it's short, then we got an easy tap in par.
Yeah. Look at that. Oh.
And that just, I thought it was gonna snap.
All right, tap
right.
that in. Man,
Yeah, I thought that was gonna snap.
that's a good putt.
You worked at many different levels in college sports, athletics. What is one of the biggest difference you see from like Division I athletics from the athlete standpoint and then Division III? Because like we was talking about a little bit ago, I think Division I athlete, if you're a male, you're thinking you're going pro. You're right there, right? You're at the highest level of college, no matter if it's mid-America, whatever. You're like, if I do good, I'm going pro.
Yeah.
Women's sports, I don't think so much so because there just wasn't so many opportunities to do that.
Yeah.
But at the Division III level, I don't know if they have that same like, I'm going pro. So what, from an athletic standpoint, what do you see the difference?
Yeah, I think most D3 athletes, they understand that, kind of do a good job of reminding them. You know, one of my speeches to all the teams this fall was like, okay, do you guys know how many percentage of high school athletes go on and play in college? And I said, how many do you think go on from there? And it's like less than 3%. So I just talk about the privilege of even getting to play in college and play, you know, in college athletics. And I think most Division III athletes understand. I mean, every once in a while you might really have just, you know, somebody that just landed at Division III that maybe just hasn't, maybe they grew, maybe they hadn't fully developed, maybe they just took on something, maybe they just started playing a sport and they have all this upside. So you do see, you know, like a guy from Hobart had an incredible career with the Buccaneers, won a Super Bowl, you know, and you see it. Our athletes at Division III are realistic to know that that's like a, you know, that's a 1 in 10,000 that you're going to go have a real career in sports. You know, maybe, you know, some minor league level or something like that. And the thing that I always talk to them about, and this is, you know, this is with no disrespect to Division I athletes, I absolutely loved both my experience in D1 and working with people like you and all the others, but you're so hyper focused at D1 about your sport that there's just no time to spread your wings and be a part of a club on campus or do an internship or you know, do all those things that are going to sort of prepare you for life outside of sports. And what I always tell our D3 kids is, you guys get the best of both worlds. You learn all the things that being a collegiate student athlete teaches you: grit, resilience, playing hurt, playing sick, having something bigger than you that you're a part of, right? Leadership. You get to learn all that stuff. Then you can also do that trip to Europe, right? Do the foreign trip, do an internship, start a club, like do all those things, so that when you graduate, for an employer, they're going to look and say, oh, you were a 4-year college athlete, but you also have all these other things that you did. So I think that's the joy for me in Division III. You know, Division I kids just don't have that time. And 2 nephews and a niece that play Division I athletics. So like I even from them within my family, I heard like the challenge of trying to be balanced, right? And so often what you see with Division I athletes is they stay in sports because that's kind of what they know when they graduate, right? As opposed to maybe knowing more about business or more about how a hospital works that you might learn along the way.
No, I think that's so true, and you're right about that. Like even at Buffalo, it was like you're so focused on the sport, and when I graduated, I felt like I was 5 years behind my high school classmates.
Yeah.
Because they're 5 years into their career, or they've had a couple different, and they're figuring out what they want to do.
Right.
Some of them have girlfriends, probably going to get married. You know, like so they can afford to buy a first car, and I'm struggling. So it's like, so it was switched. I got home and I was like, man, I'm 5 years behind everybody in my class.
Yeah.
So it was like a gut check at that point.
It's a tough trade-off. You know, I mean, the beauty of being a Division I athlete is you've made a mark at the highest level of amateur sports.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we can still call it amateur. I mean,
At this point,
questionable.
it's a fine line.
But certainly when you were you were coming to college, it was like I've made it at the highest level of amateur athletics, and I'm getting a scholarship, so I'm going to walk away. You know, so the plus is, you know, so many people like you walked away with little debt from college.
That's true.
And that's huge, right? But I think those other things, it's a trade-off, right? So you had that, whereas a Division III athlete might have all these other experiences that they can bring to the table immediately. A lot of our athletes have job offers when they're seniors, because they've done an internship between their junior and senior year, and they did a great job, and the employer's like, we want you. So I see it from both lenses, and I think both have a lot of like great stuff to them. But I do feel like a Division I athlete is a little sheltered in terms of maybe just understanding all the opportunities in the workplace.
Yeah, no, 100%. So if you're an athlete, young athlete out there, anytime you can go play college sports, athletics, no matter what level, go do it. You won't regret it. Even if it's for a year, you've realized it's not for you, at least get that year experience.
Yeah, so this is only like I think it says on the card, I think like 288.
Okay.
Short par 4.
We'll see.
Like obviously some mess here in front of us.
Yeah, you gotta carry it.
I can't tell, like, it doesn't look like right's a good place to be.
No.
Well, I'm not
that's
right.
Gonna be work.
Yeah, it's all right.
That's all we need. Yeah, that's perfect.
I mean, that Oh yeah. Now hang on, Lil.
Oh, and
did you see it come down?
I did not, but that is
the wind. I mean, it's just in the air so long, it really pushed it.
So, Paul, what do you see now, mental health in college athletics? Obviously, it's now a big talking point, more so than ever.
Yeah.
But what did you see have the biggest difference over the years in mental health? And then, like, how are you all at Hartwick kind of handling the mental health for, like, the athletes, you know, on the D3 level?
I think the biggest thing, Cope, in my 30 plus years in athletics, what's changed is we're having conversations about it, right? Like it was growing up playing sports, and probably for my first 20 years in the business, we just didn't talk about mental health. We didn't talk about having anxiety or performance pressure or any of those things. You know, it was just, you just buried it.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that, you know, I mean, is part of the reason you're here today, right? And the fact that we get to spend some time together is that, you know, this is something that you've taken on as a passion because of the things that you went through. And I'm really proud of the things. My previous institution at Alfred, we actually put a sports psychology program together with an alum, with a guy named Sam Craver that hooked us up with JFK out in California that had interns that needed hours. And then they work closely with our counseling center. I'd love to be able to build to that here at Hartwick as well. But I think the biggest thing is we talk about it openly. Right? We talk about it as administrators, we talk about it as coaches, and we recognize that, you know, you can't be great physically, right, performance-wise, if you're not great between your ears. And we're playing like the ultimate game today to do that.
God,
I mean, you know, Henry Ford had a great saying: if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
You're right.
And so we've talked about these things for a long time, but I don't think we ever really put into practice some of the things that we knew, but we just weren't really talking about them and attacking them in ways that, like, we would, like, how do you break a zone press?
Right.
So, you know, how do you change the outcomes? So I'm so grateful to be in a position to be able to do more in that area.
No, I love that. And I think you're right. I love the work that I get to do, and I'm very blessed to do it. But I encourage all athletic programs to bring out somebody. It doesn't. I'm just in the field. It doesn't have to be me. Anybody to come just have these conversations with athletes that feel like, you know, they can share this stuff. You know, this is something that we can kind of work through. But I love it. So I appreciate all that you do. Man.
Are you a Ted Lasso guy? Did you watch Ted Lasso?
I didn't know. I need to.
You have to.
I need to.
Because one of the things I love about the show, beyond it being a phenomenally written show, is that they talk very openly about mental health And Ted Lasso himself has these moments of great anxiety that he has to deal with, and then gets, you know, out in the public in a sport like, you know, in the Premier League,
Right.
which is like the NFL of the rest of the world, right? And the way they did it and the way they handled it and just the story that they told was so powerful to me as somebody that works in athletics, that works in the arena. So you absolutely have to watch that.
I definitely will. That'll be on
Make
the
time.
Yeah, that'll be on it. Yeah, appreciate it.
Oh, I sculled it.
Oh, sit down.
Get down quick.
Sit down. Okay, just on the back. All right.
I just caught it a little thin.
Yeah. All right, so 104. I'm gonna try to hit like a knockdown 54. Just kind of something hopefully controlled, but
Good
pushed
swing.
it out to the right.
Just drifting a little on
Oh,
you. Okay.
and that's it. I might leave that in.
Yeah, I would definitely leave it in.
Yeah. So let me know when y'all do your annual golf outing.
Oh yeah.
I could definitely come out.
Did you take lessons when you first started?
So I've taken a handful of lessons, but most of the time it's just like feel.
I would not have guessed that you were playing for 7-8 years. The way you swing, and I mean, you got a good natural feel for it.
Thanks, man.
I mean, I don't see a lot here.
I don't
Cope.
either.
Like I'm gonna just try to give you some sort of run and hopefully leave it somewhere close. I'm gonna play it right to left. Nah.
Oh, come on back. Come on back. Oh, that went that way at the end.
Yeah.
I didn't
That's
see
the way
that.
I saw it.
Okay.
I just did not hit a very. So I think it's like 2 balls to the right.
2 balls. Okay.
My dad used to always say, "Get it in the bushel basket." On putts this length,
Yeah.
he's like, picture a bushel basket and just try to get it inside that.
I like it. All right. And I feel like I killed that.
Yeah.
You got a little work to do. Felt like I absolutely.
I know it was slow.
Killed that one.
It was slow. Mine was slow too. I think what it was a little bit of. It felt like we were going down, but then it came up.
It came up. You want me to go ahead, go?
Yeah, knock it in, man.
All
Just,
right.
I think it's right center.
Like right
don't
here?
you?
I would say so.
Like-
Okay.
You can be aggressive with it. That's a great putt, Cope.
Thanks.
That's just such a good putt from that range. You just there was no doubt.
Yeah, good ball. Good ball. Yeah, that's down there. Good ball, Paul.
Yeah, I'll take that. You got the wind behind you now.
I know. I mean, you're in a good position. So.
Oh yeah, I didn't come over it, but like I actually drew that a little bit.
Yeah. I can control the fade a lot more than if I actually try to draw it.
100%. Yeah,
I love it.
My dad used to say you could talk to a fade, you can't talk to a duck hook.
That's so true. It's
You just can't.
instantly. For me, it's instantly.
Yeah, it doesn't listen.
No, it does not.
Oh, you just hammered that. Great ball, Cope.
Thanks. Yeah.
Tell you about growing up with my father.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Especially when I was, teenage years, my dad still played well. I mean, I'd be out there hitting it like 250, 260. When I'm using persimmon drivers,
Persimmon
like, I'd be
drivers,
hitting it
yeah,
out
yeah,
there a little
yeah.
bit. My dad's poking it out there like 175, 180. And then, so I'm 60, 70 yards past him on every hole.
Yeah.
He runs something up by the green, chips it up to 2 feet, puts it in, makes par. Meanwhile, I scrambled a second shot, 3-putt. What'd you make? Bogey, par.
Right.
Like every day with my dad was like that. He was a great putter. I spent my whole life wishing I could putt like my dad could. It was so demoralizing because when you're that age, you just want to beat your father so
100%.
bad.
I just want, and then he does, when he's in front.
And all I could do was beat him off the tee.
Yeah.
But-
Especially when you're like, I got you now. Like, if
all
you
the
think they're
time.
out of the hole,
All the
like,
time. And I'm hitting like 9 iron, and he's hitting like a 4-wood, 5-wood.
You're like, I got you.
Yeah,
And then
Nope.
And then he catches up to you.
Dude, I feel so good because I got to tell you, on my own ball, I would be thrilled with
Oh man,
hitting it where I'm hitting it.
Yeah, that's perfect, man.
Nah, I'd have, at least like with most of my drives today, I'd have like a good club in my hand for a second shot. Anything 8 iron and up, I can usually score with. If I'm hitting 8 iron or up, then I'm having a pretty good round usually.
Yeah.
If I got to be hitting 5s and 6s and hybrids, nah, it's a bad day. Bad day for PV. Should have stayed home.
You stay home. I'm right here. There's days where I'm like that too. Why did I even come out here?
So tell me about the wedges you carry.
I typically carry 58, 54, 50, and a 46.
Okay.
So I don't have like a pitching wedge that comes with the set.
Yeah.
I carry a 46 degree because I can control it better around closer to the greens.
Yep.
I don't need more distance on the, like, later in the bag.
Yeah.
I need more control
Yeah.
with the wedges.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
the way you're hitting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing from the tips on a 70s, 800-yard course, you're not
then
gonna need.
then it's
Yeah.
more full shots anyway.
Yeah.
But I saw I actually left my 58 practicing one day at a club, and they gave me a 56. So I had it bent to a 58.
Okay.
So that's the wedges I have.
Yep.
I'm gonna try to hit a little bunt for 58.
Sit quick.
That's too
Sit
far.
quick. Sit now.
And that's
Okay.
I tried to hit it in the front, but oh yeah, get
That's
up there,
short.
right up there.
Nah, it's short.
I just came up under a little bit. I was right
Dadgum.
at it. I was right at it. Do you use the clock system on your wedge? How do you gauge distance with like your wedges?
I wished I could tell you I mean, it really is a field thing for
Okay.
me. I had a 56 there, and I was thinking like 3/4,
Yeah.
you know, because normally that's like an 85-yard club for
Okay.
me. So I usually will base it on that. But again, if I'm tuned in, if I'm playing well,
Yeah.
I just kind of can pick out a club and just kind of have
Feel
the
it.
feel for it. So I wish I had something more scientific than that, but that's kind of it.
I started doing the clock system.
So it's like 9 o'clock. So
9 to 3
Yeah.
with the 58 is more
Yeah.
about 45, 50 yards.
Okay.
And then 11 is like a 3/4 swing.
Yeah.
That's more about 80 something, 85.
Yep.
And then if I do a full one, it's about 95 to 100.
Yeah.
So I do that, and that once again that helps me out because when my feels aren't right,
Yes.
it's just something I can go to
Yes.
and get it somewhere on the grid.
Yeah.
Okay, 90.
And have a firmer
have
idea
a
in your
firmer-
mind about
yes.
this is where I'm taking the
This is
club
where I'm
to.
taking it back. It might
Yeah.
not go the exact distance,
Yeah.
and then when I'm feeling well, then I can be like, all right, let me take a little bit off
Yep,
of the
yep.
9 to 3.
Yeah, that's smart.
So, but it just
That's
helps
smart.
me out.
That's a good way to think about it.
That's hard for me to not decelerate in those, and that helps me out too with the clock system. It helps me just hit it aggressive to my spot.
Yeah.
'Cause I think Tiger Woods talking about that. He was like, I hit aggressive to my spot,
Yeah.
and no matter what the spot is. And so for me, it was like I'm hitting aggressive to my yardage.
Yep.
All right, we got to make
Yeah.
a bird.
We need one.
You got this going
Let's
left?
see. I do. Rises up at the end, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
if you come back here, you can kind of see it kind of goes up a little bit.
Yeah. Like I got the line and the speed right, even if it doesn't go in. Like just. No, too far outside.
No, I like it though. I like it.
It's better speed.
It's better speed, but it just told me like that kind of stayed a little bit more out than I thought it would.
Yeah.
But I didn't hit it. I didn't hit it. I had the
Oh.
line. I didn't hit it. Gosh, Lee. All right, good putt. God, how did I leave that short?
I
We
know.
had,
I know it.
we had you there.
And we talked about the
Yeah.
fact it goes up.
It
at
goes
the
up
end.
the hill.
Yeah.
And it's,
Well, you know what? If we could have combined our two, you had the line, I had the speed.
we would have been all right.
That's a different kind of scramble.
Yeah, yeah. So PV, man, you've given a lot to athletes over the last 30 years. You've helped a lot of athletes in their careers. You helped a lot of athletes in different aspects of their life. So what do you do for your own mental health? Like as now as an AD,
Yeah.
you're getting pulled in a million different directions.
Yeah.
Your time is I appreciate you coming out because I know your time is very limited with what you have time to do. And so how do you balance mental health and then also with the home life?
Yeah, I would love to tell you I've done it brilliantly for 30 plus years, and I would be lying through my teeth because early in my career, I mean, thank goodness for my wife, Dawn, because, I mean, I was so focused on my career, and our two younger sons are on the autistic spectrum, and so they were diagnosed fairly young, and so I knew my wife was going to need to hold down the house. And I would say I felt a lot of pressure at that point. Like I got to advance in my career because I'm probably going to be a single family income here. And to do that, I just felt like I had to put so much time into my work. And I already was in a job that was going to be weekends and nights anyway.
Yeah.
Every success that I've had in my life is directly related to my wife and really my kids having the patience with me, especially when I was younger. Now, I talked earlier about you get a little smarter as you get older,
Yeah.
and I think I've done a better job
And one of the things that I've learned, and I do this every once in a while, is some days it's kind of like being out here, right? Some days you're just not feeling it. And those are the days when, rather than forcing it and staying in the office till 7, 8 o'clock at night, there are times I just say 4 o'clock and I got to get out of here. It's just not, it's not here today. I'm not getting anything done. So why not spend the time, you know, with the people that I love, rather than just sitting here grinding it out, you know, hitting my head against the desk. This is a great outlet for me. You know, golf has always been a great outlet for me. Again, young, overly competitive, club throw, you know, like all that stuff, right? And then you get older, life kind of like hits you upside the head with some unique challenges that we've had with our boys, and you realize, like, you better enjoy every minute that you're out here doing this, right? So so I think I've gotten better. I think there's definitely still times that I need to listen to the same message I give to our student athletes about asking for help, and not being weak, not feeling weak to say I'm not going to be able to do this on my own.
I think that would be tough, especially in your position, because you are the leader of the athletic department. So it can be tough to look like, you know, you say I need help, because then it could be perceived as, well, you don't have a handle on what you need to have a handle on, which is the complete opposite. You know, sometimes, I need help so I can I have a handle on it, but sometimes it can be so tough and you're getting pulled in so many directions.
And I would be so two-faced about it, Cope, if I'm sitting there and telling our student athletes, like, look, you need to raise your hand when you need help, you know, physically, mentally, whatever it is, academically, and then be somebody that's so prideful that it's like, well, I'm never gonna admit that there's days when I hit the wall on certain days that you kind of question, can you just juggle everything, and can you be everywhere you need to be for everyone that needs you? I think that's the hardest thing, right? Because I have, my mentors, the best people in my life, have always, held to me their expectations, and the way they could deliver on those expectations were the things that inspired me. So, like, in my mind, it's always like, I do want to be everywhere for everybody. And that's often the thing that gets you down that rabbit hole of, you just can't be. And there's times when you just have to say, that's my best today. That's what I got today. That's everything I have today. I'll come back tomorrow and I'll go just as hard, and maybe I'll be better tomorrow than I was today.
And I think that's perfect. And you have to be okay with that.
Yes.
You just have to be like, this is all I had today. And that's okay. But no, I think it's major that you are actively and voicing that as an athlete. If you see your AD taking those steps and actually doing what he's telling you to do, that makes it more comfortable for the athletes to come out and do that.
You know this from being an athlete like I was. Like, you cue off your coach, you cue 100%. Off your mentors, your parents. Their example becomes what you see as the right path. Especially if you care about them and you trust them and you have high regard for them. Something that I always talk about, with my coaches, like, the tone you set and the person that you present to them every day is that's going to be what they're going to follow. And we talked earlier about a guy, Turner Gill, that you played for, that I worked with.
Amazing, one of my favorite people ever.
That just lifted you to a higher expectation of yourself by the way he lived his life, and the I mean. Like, Turner didn't swear. And I would love to tell everybody out there that I don't, but let me tell you something. I'm not great with that. But you know what? And that's just like a small thing, but like, I found myself when I was around Turner so much, I just stopped cursing or like very little. And I thought, why didn't I just do this a long time ago? I don't need to be cursing as much as I do.
There's other words, right?
There's a lot of other words in the vocabulary. But that's just one example. But just the way, people like that, the way they carry themselves just inspires you to be better. And ultimately that's what I want to be. I fall short of it probably as many days than I hit it, but that's always the goal.
Coach Gill was an amazing person, and you're right, just by the way he lived his life, and I loved about him because he let each individual person be themselves. And then you saw the example of how he lived his life, so you just wanted to be a better version of you.
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to be Coach Gill. I was just like, no, let me just be a better version of myself because he amplifies that every day.
Yep.
So it's great. I love it.
All
Kind
right,
of just
let's see.
straightforward. Yeah.
Fade a little.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Keep
yeah,
going.
we're good.
Keep going.
Yep. Oh, yeah, we're perfect. Good ball.
Not my best swing on balance, but sometimes the hit looks better in the box score the next day.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But they say scorecards don't have pictures or videos. Well, we have video now, but like the scorecard don't. All right, I'm going to try to fade it off that bunker.
Yeah, this is perfect. This is a great look for you. Oh, not too much now.
Not too much. Stop cutting. All right, we'll see. I don't know. Earlier you talked about like important a good coach is.
Yeah.
Because I'm a firm believer that if a coach's mental health is not where it needs to be, they can mess up a team.
Yeah.
The stuff that they had to suppress younger, they're not as open sometimes. Now they are, but historically they haven't been as open to mental health conversations.
Yeah.
And sometimes they can project some of that onto their athletes. So how do you, when you're hiring a coach, what are you looking for? And it's tough because you know somebody, and then obviously they run their team how they run their team. But like, how do you initially, like with interview process, what kind of person are you looking for?
You know, honestly, like I don't know that like the mental health conversation has ever come up for me in an interview, other than I think the question you asked me earlier about just how do you manage stress?
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
How do you manage the ups and downs and the outside stressors, whether those are personal or professional or the team or whatever. There's always a question for me about that. I think the biggest thing for me is, you know, the coaches that I'm going to hire are just going to have a holistic approach. To me, they're teachers. They're teachers first, right?
Yeah.
I've never met a coach yet. If they're good, then I could put them in the classroom as well, because
That's a
their
great point.
ability to not only have ideas that drive success, but their ability to teach them, get their athletes to believe, right, and then put people in positions to be successful. You know, to me, that's the same elements of teaching that go into great coaching.
I love it.
Right. So that for me, that's always the things. And then recruiting, like, I mean, you have to be able to relate to people. You know, because you know, the oldest saying in sports, and you've heard it before, it's not the X's and O's, it's the Jimmies and Joes, or the Janies and Jills.
Yes.
Because,
100%.
you know, if you have to have a certain amount of talent, and people that know how to be successful and will drive themselves to be successful, you always have to have that. So if you recruit well and you teach well and you communicate well, you have a great chance to be successful. And those are the people that, you know, and those are the best people that I've ever been around in my career. And I feel really fortunate. I'm working with a great group at Hartwick College.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love it.
90 to the center is probably a safe.
And wind's kind of into us, so yeah, I think that.
Just gotta make sure I get down and through this, Paul.
Oh yeah, that's added. That is added. Good ball, Paul.
There we go.
Good ball, PV.
That's a good club.
That's
a good club for me.
Yeah.
Finally took some pressure off you, man.
Oh no, you all right. All right, so I'm gonna play this fade.
Oh yes, sir. That's even better.
Come on.
Get down now. Oh yes.
Okay. It kind of kicked, but it's all
see, I knew you'd get inside of me.
All right, we got a couple good ones, PV. Had a couple good ones. Make a birdie.
Yes, sir. All right, this is all you. This
Let's
is a
make a
natural
birdie.
bird. You get the chance to roll that one in.
Okay, let me read it. Seems like it goes uphill too.
Yeah, it is. This is
Like this is weird.
I mean, I think if you're firm with it, it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna break outside the hole. I mean, if anything, I think it might go a little bit left.
Okay, so I'm
But like, I wouldn't play it outside the hole.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let's
yes,
go.
Sir.
Let's go,
Yes, sir.
Paul.
No, it never
Let's go,
left the
PV.
hole, baby.
This part of the show is brought to you by Lee's famous chicken recipe. So this segment, Lee's all about tradition, and you know they have the great recipe. What does tradition mean to you as a new AD coming into a new school, new college? How do you kind of build on the tradition that existed, but also kind of navigate your own in your own footing?
I think tradition is tremendously important to instill in the student athletes that we have today. So we have an amazing tradition at Hartwick College. Hartwick College was Division I in men's soccer for a long time. We won the national championship in 1977. And so we dropped down to Division III with men's soccer a bunch of years ago, you know, talking about the fact that we had a national championship program at the highest level, as well as all the successes of our other programs, just so many NCAA tournament appearances, Final Fours, things like this. I think it's so important for our student athletes today to know that they're walking in the footsteps of people that built our athletic program, that they're sitting at the lockers of great people that have gone on to be, you know, incredibly successful in every field imaginable. So it's really important to me, and we want to live that every day. I pay, you know, homage to those that came before us here at Hartwick College, which is a lot of wonderful memories.
Okay, 132?
Yeah, 132. Okay. I mean, really no elevation. Saying I think it's 132, but it's playing like 129 because I think just a slightly downhill.
Okay. I'm going to go more of a softer pitching wedge and hopefully just...
Yeah, it's definitely...
It's like swirling a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, drew that a little bit.
Did, yeah.
Oh, no.
Did you go in the sand?
I did. Yeah, PV.
Is it enough?
Yeah, PV. Oh, yeah. We'll take it. That
just
was right
on the
at
front?
It. That was right at it, yeah.
It's going to go hard right.
Yeah, I see. Like,
you're going to have to be really firm with it.
And it's like in the little... You can get it out.
Into.
Yeah.
It's right here?
Yeah, right there. It'll be good.
All right, I'm gonna be pretty aggressive here.
Okay.
Especially with a birdie putt, because this would be like stealing if we make a...
Oh, for sure.
If we make a birdie here.
Oh, it's such a good putt.
All right.
All right.
I'm happier with that putt.
No, I like it, and I think you're on the low side too. So
yeah, that was a better putt.
Yeah, no,
you
I
want
like
it out?
That. I'm thinking like right here.
Yeah.
And just let it kind of die down a little bit.
I still think you don't want to leave it short. Like a foot or two by is nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Give yourself a chance to make it.
Yeah.
Oh, good roll.
Come on. Oh, it just died.
That's all right. That's a really good roll. That was a tough hole with that kind of wind.
Yeah.
We'll take par there all day.
The par threes here are tough.
The one I'd actually like to get in the air a little bit because I think we got a little wind behind us. Oh, I pulled it just a little.
I got you. Yeah. Oh,
Did it get through those trees?
We're good.
Oh, I lost it.
It's off to the... Let me see. Yeah, I got it.
I saw it come off, didn't
it?
For the Ball State game.
Yeah.
You know, like the last 5 minutes of that game, top 5 all time.
It was amazing feeling. Amazing.
But I'm going to tell you what, just as good at that, if not better. And I don't know if you remember this. You were a freshman in 08?
No, 07 was my freshman year. Yeah, I graduated high school in 07.
So you would have been there. So the first ever championship that we won at UB was women's tennis.
Yeah.
In 08.
Yeah.
And that started the the chain, because then we won a bunch, we won some more right after that, bunch more after that. We're playing Western Michigan. Western Michigan is 3-time defending champions. But we hosted, not because we were the 1 seed, but because they were rotating it.
Okay.
So we end up hosting as like the 5 seed, and we win our way into the championship. And we're playing Western Michigan, and it's a match to 5. So you get 1 point for whoever wins a double. You need 4 of the 6 singles. First team to 5 wins.
Okay.
We're down 4-0 to Western Michigan on our home court. And so, it's just, okay, it's a coronation. They're going to win their 4th in a row.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we win 1. And now it's 4-1.
Yeah.
And now Denise Harahanto. She wins her match. And she starts getting really demonstrative at the end. She's like, come on.
Yeah.
I'm getting chills. And so now it's 4-2.
Yeah.
And then it's 4-3. And then it's 4-4.
And each match just gets more and more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miranda Stan is the last one on the court, Sma. And she's just just mentally, she was the mentally toughest kid we had on that team. And it's funny, I tell this to people all the time, like, we had never won a championship. It's Buffalo, so we're supposed to be cursed.
Yeah.
Like, we lose everything. Whenever we get to the championship, we always lose. And everybody around me was freaking out, like going like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, we're gonna, we're gonna find a way to lose or whatever. And just I looked at Sma, and I looked in her eyes, just calm. I was so calm, and the people around me were like, "What?" I'm like, "Sma's not gonna lose.
Yeah.
Like she's just not gonna lose." And she won 7-5 in the last set, dude.
I love it.
And it was, I mean, that might be number one. If I were gonna make a list of like the best sporting moments, there's been things that have happened off the fields that probably mean, you know, a ton to me. But like, just watching us overcome that 4-0. And then it comes down to the last match, and it's Buffalo, and we're not supposed to win, and we're not supposed to beat the 3-time defending champions, for sure. Right. And then just the calm that came over me, just knowing, like, you just can look at people
and just know.
And just realize, like, she ain't gonna lose.
You just know, and you got all the momentum.
And we had the momentum, and when we won, I mean, that was incredible. That was incredible, bro. Like, and for Kathy Twist, who took over a program that had like no scholarship support. It took her like 3 years to win a conference match. Like when you talk about the growth, you know, like we didn't have scholarship money, all that stuff. And man, I gotta tell you, I can picture it like it was yesterday. I felt like as a department, that loosened, everybody was like, oh, we can do this.
We can win. Yes.
Yeah, we can win.
Yes, we can win.
You know?
102. Okay, that's your number.
Is that helping? It feels like that's helping.
It was at the tee box, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay. That's your number, man.
It is my number.
80 yards to clear the bunker. So, I just know if I get it anywhere over 80 yards.
You know what? I'm actually, with this wind, I'm actually going to go down one.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit my like 85 to 90 club. Nope. No, that one I hit thin. I mean, that one no.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that might have gone in.
Yeah, no, that's a great shot. All right.
Did you see how that carried though?
I did.
Because when I hit it, I didn't think I hit it far.
Yeah, and it's just the wind,
but
it just kept going.
The wind is worth 10, 15 yards.
Yeah, that's why I think if I clear the bunker, it should kick up or the wind should take it.
Oh, good ball. Sit down a little. Sit now. Sit. Okay.
Might be a little far.
Good ball.
But
that's a really nice swing, Cope.
Thanks, man. All right, good ball, PV. Let's ham and egg this thing.
It's a little bit this way.
Yeah, I'll say a little bit that way. Not much, though.
I'm going to try to play it straight in. Oh!
Okay, it fell a little bit more that way.
Did I pull that, or do you think it turned?
I think you might have pulled it just a tad bit.
Yeah, I think I did too.
Just a tad bit.
I played a ball out on the left.
Okay, okay.
That's such a good putt. That's such a good putt.
Oh! I thought it was gonna fall.
I thought you had it.
I thought it was gonna. Yeah, it just. We'll take a birdie. Okay.
Hole 9, bro.
Hole 9. All right. Wow. So we're 1 under for the day. Yeah. I think so. So
I'm heavy. I'm heavy.
No. We're good.
You've been carrying me for 7 holes now.
No, we are good. So, Vivi, you talked about a couple of favorite memories from UB. Because I would love to hear some stuff, like a good story from like y'all point of view. Because as athletes, we have, you know, our perception of things.
Yeah.
We're like, can you think of like a good UB story?
I'll talk about James Starks, one of my favorite people, one of my favorite athletes. I think sometimes, Cope, like, you don't realize just the power of your words, right? And I think that's something that I've learned as I've gotten older. Yeah. And I talk a lot to our coaching staff about just understand the power of your words, right? So you know James really well, like I do, Buck as we call him, and he was so shy, such a shy guy, like unbelievably funny.
He's a great guy.
You know, never met anybody he didn't like, you know, but so painfully shy. Hated the limelight. So my job back then was I was an administrator and I had programs that I supervised, but then also I was the lead communications person for football. So it was my job after a game or with the weekly press conferences to pick out the players that the media wanted to talk to. And by the time Buck got to be a sophomore, people could see, like, this guy's legit. And I mean, his sophomore year when we were MAC East co-champs, he went off like those last 4 or 5 games.
Gosh.
You know? So he would say to me, you know, I'd go looking for him in the locker room, he'd be hiding from me because he's like, oh, I hate doing these interviews. So one day we were just talking, I think it was like before we had like a weekly press conference, and he said, I really don't feel comfortable doing these things. And I said, Buck, I said, you have the greatest smile I've ever seen. Like when you smile, it's like 10,000 watts.
Yeah, and he like lights up a room.
Lights up a room.
It's contagious. Like he's just a good person.
100%. And I said, you know what? When you're feeling the pressure of an interview or whatever it might be, I just want you to smile, because when you do, everybody's going to smile with you. And I just kind of said it as an aside, because he really didn't like doing that stuff, and I was just trying to give him any kind of tool I could, So now his rookie year with the Packers, he's tearing it up in the playoffs, and he's a huge reason that they're in the Super Bowl. And I was at a women's tennis match at the Miller Tennis Center, and I didn't bother him at all. Like I'd shot him some text during the year, just checking in on him. But I'm like, I'm not bothering this dude during Super Bowl week.
Super Bowl, right?
So my phone rings. I look down and it says James Starks, and I thought, I better take this. And so I went to a quiet spot, and he's like, "You've been following?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I've been following, Buck."
Of course.
And I just told him how proud I was of him and everything. And he said, "I don't know if you've seen my interviews," and I did. I would go online a lot and watch, all the interviews and things he was doing. And he goes, "I'm smiling a lot, my man. I'm smiling a lot." And he said, I appreciate you and everything you did for me. And it's just one of those moments as a professional that you're in the presence of greatness. And I don't say that lightly, because as good a football player as Buck is, he's a better person, right? So
100%.
So you get to be in the presence of really great people, and then to feel like you played some role in their life, or gave them a word of encouragement or something that they felt good about. That was pretty special. And then when they finished it off that weekend, it was phenomenal.
Yeah, I love that, because that's how important the small conversations are. That sometimes, as people who are, let's say, not the athlete, but who have a regular day-to-day job that they have pulled in so many directions, you have all these small conversations all day.
Yeah, that's right.
And sometimes you don't even think about, I'm going to the next thing, I'm going to here, do that. But that's how important they are to some athletes, because that's a small conversation to you, but to him, that's something he really needed to hear at that moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's
absolutely.
I love that.
And you're right, and that's why I think, especially as leaders, as people that we hold important, roles for people. Really, I think, measuring your words carefully, something I've really, and again, that was one of those moments where it just hits you right in the face and you go, wow. Like something I said that, I was serious about, I felt it was something that was going to help him, but you just don't realize the magnitude of how much it really means to somebody. And that's why, I think, the oldest saying, I can remember growing up, my mother saying, like, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything.
Don't say anything,
right? And I think, that was the older generation's way of saying, like, again, like, words are powerful. So if you can't say anything constructive, then, don't bring people down.
I love that.
So that was great. And there's so many. I mean, I was part of some incredible championship moments, but the personal relationships, that stuff is the stuff that, and that's the same thing I tell athletes today, right? Like, you're going to remember some of the wins and losses, but that's not what you're going to remember most. You're going to remember the locker room stuff. You're going to remember the crazy bus rides, the crazy dinner, something crazy happened on the road, right?
For sure.
Guys got trapped in an elevator. I remember when that happened on a road trip. Like, that's the stuff you're gonna remember that when you're 70. The games will be really fuzzy. Now, obviously, what you guys did in 2008, winning that championship, that's a singular moment that we'll always remember. But a lot of the other games are already faded from my memory. But that's the stuff that you hold on to.
Yeah. No, that's so funny. And it's crazy you said that, like, the 08 scene. So I redshirted that year, right?
Yeah.
I redshirted. And so for the longest time, I had a hard time wearing the ring because as a competitor, I felt like I didn't contribute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like so,
Yeah.
and everybody talked, and it was a great team. And yes, I took a lot of pride in the scout team that year because I wanted to help the team. I was like, this is the way I can help the team.
Yeah.
But not playing in the games, I felt like so for the first couple of years, I didn't really wear the ring.
Yeah.
And it took me after a while to realize the importance of every role on the team.
Yep.
You know, I minimized my role because I'm not playing. I played as a freshman.
Yep.
But I'm like, I'm not playing. So part of me was like, man, I should be out there kind of thing.
Yep.
But it's conversations I had with Miss Sharon.
Yep.
That was like my mama buffalo.
Yep.
But to go to your point, the small conversations that you have on a day-to-day basis really help athletes through tough times when y'all don't even know it.
100%. And I want to give a shout out, you know, when I'm thinking about, we've been talking about mental health, and when I think back to the earliest recollections that I have of that, I want to give a shout out to Kelly Piper because KP was the first person take, you know, the mental health piece, the sports psych piece, and make a huge impact on our athletes. Won some tennis championships during a time when I was there, and I was supervising those teams. And the impact that she made on those teams that I was, you know, a part of tangentially. I mean, I wasn't hitting any strokes, but I felt like I was a part of it. Massive. And it was really like, it was eye-opening to me because that was the first time when I really saw, and again, coaches like Lee Nickel and Kathy Twist that prioritized that said like, yes, these athletes need that support right now. You know, they've got barriers that they can't find a way over or around mentally, right? So like, you know, big shout out to KP, and she was always like, amazing. You know, I had so many phenomenal colleagues back in that day, but you know, she opened my eyes to a lot of that, and she destigmatized it too.
Yes, 100%. She would do the SAC meetings, and we'd go in there, and she would just talk about it. And this was, once again, this was before it was really mainstream to really talk about, but she would always talk about mental, like how are you mentally and doing things. So KP, you are amazing, and I love every time, like the moments at Buffalo were so great. So
I don't even know, bro.
I think it's dog legs left. I mean, right. I see the picture.
Is it dog leg right?
Yeah, dog legs right.
So this tree over here is leaning in big time. It's kind of tight. I'm almost, I mean, I feel like I want to aim for that and try to cut it back. Cut. Oh,
you got through. You got through.
That was almost exactly where I wanted to hit it, but it didn't.
You got through it.
I think I'm okay.
I think you are.
I never believed that saying trees are 90% air.
I hit the 10% then. Every time.
That's the worst phrase in golf.
Oh man.
This is perfect for you.
Yeah, I'm honestly aiming at that orange reddish tree. And just try to hopefully fade it back. If it stays straight, it stays straight, but
either way you're good. Oh, Cope, if that. Oh, yeah. Why did I even hit? Ladies and gentlemen, I should put my clubs away.
No, good.
That is awesome, bro.
Thanks, man.
That is awesome. You're hitting it better as we go.
So I got 180 to the middle, 166 to the front, 197 to the back. Oh, that's so good, PV.
Never saw it.
It's off to the left a little bit. Okay, green side.
All right, we'll take that.
Good ball. Okay, I'm gonna try to hit it 170, 175, and hopefully. I lost it.
I saw it off your club. I thought it was going a little right. Like I would have said, like near that. See that red bush?
Yeah. I was gonna say I pushed it out there, but
that's where I saw it headed, and then I saw it for a minute, and then I lost it too.
Yeah, I couldn't see it in the sun.
-1.
We are at minus.
We're gonna. I feel pretty safe in saying we're gonna finish under par.
I think so.
Laying two green side.
Yes.
Just to the left, but it was one of those where you're off the green, you got to come up over this hump, and then you got no green.
Yeah.
And I took a 60, and I like just tried to channel Mickelson, and I just took a big swing and did one of these, and didn't that thing just pop up, take one bounce, and go in, and we all fell out.
Oh, that's the best. That's the best. But that will keep you coming back.
Oh man,
for a long time.
I'm thinking about that right now.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to channel.
That. Yep.
I'm trying to channel
that.
I mean, this is a lot easier, straightforward chip than that was, but
yeah. Oh, nice. Sit.
Okay.
Sit. Nice. I like it. I like it. Good shot.
And jump left. Did you
It
see
did.
that?
I saw that. Leaf, like, kind of
Yeah.
yep, right there.
Yeah.
Kind of right on the
I think
top
that's
of
a
the green.
great spot.
I'm trying to hit this a little lower.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Whoa. Oh, look at it. Came back at the end. Nice.
Okay. Okay. I threw it out a little
Nice.
too far, but
And then, like I told you in that text,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, to be able to get to play golf and then do something with it and like make it like meaningful.
yeah.
Man, it's
This was honestly a couple years in the planning, right? And so I knew I was like, I got to get a little better at golf, and I got to get better at playing on camera.
yeah.
So I would go out and film myself on the course a lot, and I would to get used to talking through shots and not letting it, because it's different. So I got
think
it
it's
right
left
outside there.
center. I think it's left center.
Yeah, I
and
think so.
and just like it's downhill, so like I think you just really got to get it rolling.
Yeah, just to kind of touch it on that line.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
two
hey.
under, brother.
2 under, Paul.
That's unbelievable.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching. Second episode of Coping on Course. My dude, PV, man, Paul Vecchio, AD at Hartwick. I appreciate you coming out. Thank you for making time. I know your schedule is kind of tight, but I appreciate you making time, man.
Best part of the week right here doing this with you, Cope.
Oh, man.
And just so thankful that you're going to impact our student athletes the way you will tonight.
Yeah.
And just appreciate you and just glad we had a great day to do it in late October
Yeah,
in
I know.
Oneonta, New York.
I know it was kind of weird. We didn't know what was going to happen, but it's all right. The weather's perfect, beautiful course. I appreciate you having me out,
Betcha.
man.
Absolutely.
Hey, appreciate
Thanks,
you,
man.
PV. Yep, love you, man.